from Nepal after days of violent anti-government protests in Nepal. The Nepal army took charge of the security in the country. Soldiers patrolled the streets of Kathmandu on Wednesday amid indefinite curfew in Nepal's capital following deadly anti-graft protests that prompted Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli to resign. The worst upheaval in decades in Nepal was sparked by a social media ban unveiled last week but rolled back after 19 persons died on Monday as police fired tear gas and rubber bullets to control the crowd. No protests were reported in the capital, but about 26 people trying to create trouble on the outskirts of Kathmandu have already been taken into custody. Following hours of violent protests in Kathmandu and other parts of the country, the Nepal army has also taken over security operations. The army has appealed for public cooperation, calling upon citizens to inform them once miscreants target public and personal property and damage historical, social, cultural and religious places. Further, considering reports of vandalism and arson in some places due to infiltration by anarchic persons and groups, and anticipating further possibility of such incidents, the army has issued a prohibitory order till 5 p.m. today, local time, while the curfew would be in force since then to 6 a.m. Thursday. In more news, a large number of prisoners have escaped from various jails across Nepal. In Bharatpur, prisoners set the prison on fire and fled. Although the exact number of prisoners who escaped is unclear, most of over 700 prisoners are likely to have fled. In Myagri, 76 out of 88 inmates escaped from the district jail, while 36 prisoners fled from the district jail in Jumla, following which the district administration office has issued a curfew order. 327 prisoners escaped from Tanahun prison amid escalating Gen Z movement when various government offices in the capital, Damoli, were being vandalized and set ablaze. In a separate incident on Tuesday night, 5 juveniles were killed and 4 others were severely injured in a clash with the security personnel at Naubasta Correctional Home in Banke. However, nearly 80 juvenile detainees have managed to escape. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday chaired a meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Security to discuss developments in Nepal, where violent protests have toppled the government, and stressed that stability, peace and prosperity of the country are of utmost importance to India. Prime Minister Modi said the violence in Nepal, in which at least 19 people have lost their lives, is heart-rending, and appealed to the people in Nepal to support peace. The stability, peace and prosperity of Nepal are of utmost importance to India. Meanwhile, border districts of Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand have been put on high alert, and security across all border posts and vulnerable points has been beefed up. High alert has been sounded in Uttar Pradesh's 7 districts bordering Nepal, including Maharajganj, Siddharthnagar and Lakhimpur Kheri. Additional forces had been deployed to border police stations. Intelligence agencies have also been directed to maintain close watch. Intensified patrolling is also being undertaken on highways, village tracks and forest routes connecting the two countries. Meanwhile, flight operations have been temporarily suspended in all airports amid unrest. With the army taking control of the Tribhuvan International Airport in Kathmandu, flight operations remain suspended till 6 p.m. local time today. All right, our correspondent Shweta Singh joins us from Kathmandu for the latest. Shweta, good afternoon. Get us the latest when we talk of the law and order situation in Nepal.
Preeti, you see, the federal capital of Nepal is calm today. In fact, I didn't find much of the youth doing any vandalistic or rioting or creating chaos today. But my journalist friend from other part of Nepal have shared me the visuals and have informed me that in eastern Nepal, people are like ransacking food security office. So they have taken all the rice bags on their heads, on the shoulders, and they're escaping. And there is a lot of chaos created along the border. Luckily, Indian Army police forces are across the border. They have been strengthened, beefed up. So border is safe from Indian side. But apart from Valley, other parts of Nepal is yet seeing unrest. Here in Nepal, capital or Kathmandu, Nepali army have really taken control over the situation. Nepali army vehicles are patrolling major roads. So that way you see situation is under control here in Kathmandu Valley. Preeti.
All right, so the situation is under control in Kathmandu, but then Shweta, get us the specific regions in Nepal which are witnessing unrest at present.
Preeti, as I informed you, it is eastern Nepal. Few places in eastern Nepal, the visuals have come from there, where people are ransacking government office, and along the border in Madhesh, Biratnagar is also there, where information have come now. So these are the places where people are really out of control, a bit chaotic, I would say.
All right, with Prime Minister already resigned, what do we know more of the caretaker government, Shweta?
Preeti, as such, there is no caretaker government or interim government now in Nepal. Nepali army is taking care of the situation here. And as you see, President Ramchandra Paudel has requested for peaceful solution by all the political parties, but all leaders are in hiding. They are protecting their lives first. If you see the visuals, how present ministers or senior leaders were treated, you will really be frightened, getting hurt or being kicked or dragged on the roads and street. This is a really frightening visual. So most of the leaders were ill-treated. Their house were completely torched, the stone pelted. So now none of the leaders are in open. And security of leaders are very important, previous political leaders. And you see now, as Gen Z has demanded youth against corruption, but you see, getting a fine face to represent entire Nepal. It's not just Gen Z needs a representation. Entire Nepal needs a representation, a stable government. So that way, Nepali army have taken control, but there is no such discussion of having an interim government. I hope so. In coming time, it may unfold when people start. Gen Z is also on talking table with Nepali army, but Nepali army is just about willing to know their view, exactly what they want. But for interim government, as such, we don't have anything solid to talk about.
All right,
Preeti.
Shweta, then, help us understand what is the, help us understand the nerve of the protesters. What is it that they're exactly looking at? Because on one hand, the interim government is not taking shape in Nepal. At the same time, the social media ban for which the protest had eventually, had in the first place started, has been revoked. Put all this together, now that the Prime Minister has resigned in Nepal and there is no government to take care at present, what is it that the Gen Z, the youth Gen Z is looking at?
See, first reminding that Gen Z started a peaceful protest. It was even they didn't
Yes.
expect that it will take this ugly turn. They were just protesting against the present government, wanting corruption to stop, seeking employment, seeking good education, good life. But as 19 students were killed, 17 in Kathmandu, 2 in Itahari, that is East Nepal near Biratnagar. So it took really ugly shape because now every student could relate that I could be the one who would have been hit by the rubber bullet and I would be dead now. So that was not taken in good spirit, and then vandalism, rioting, and this all chaos happened. Because then it was the frustration and anger that came out, and all the leaders were targeted. When the leaders were targeted, it was seen as that anger is towards the government, towards the political leaders. But then they started attacking government buildings, which is made by the taxpayers' money. And that's their parents' money, their own property. So it was then it was realized it is not just Gen Z, because if you see the faces of the people vandalizing, it's not just 16 or 17-year-old. There were many mid-aged people also there of around 30s, 20, I would say 28. So they can't be termed as Gen Z. When Naxal Bhat Bhateni was looted, or when Radhe Radhe Bhat Bhateni was looted, your Hilton Hotel was burnt and the showpieces, souvenirs were taken out. or you say Banijya Bank was looted with huge sum of money. The culprits whom you see there in the pictures and videos, they are not Gen Z. It is, I think you should realize that on the garb of Gen Z, keeping Gen Z as a face, other people, unsocial entities, use this situation to get benefit for themselves. And because in the beginning, you see, Gen Zs were also very clear, we don't want any political color. We are not just scapegoat for any political party. So it is that none of the political party was represented through Gen Z. It was the youth power, youth that was protesting against corruption. But the thing is, by having so much of huge lakhs of people on roads, it was really not easy for Nepal police at that moment to take control of these kids, I would say, because they were really that time college students, 16, 17 years of girls and boys in skirts and sweaters. So when first I witnessed in the morning, it was very heartening to see young population fighting for the rights. But later on in the evening, till evening, it took very brutal shape, very ugly shape. And next day of the protest was very bad when every small street, big roads had tires burning, road blocked, and everything was in chaos. When Nepal army at 10 p.m. yesterday night they came, they started taking things in control. The looters and the people who were creating chaos, they were caught, nabbed. So things is under control. Not exactly, I would say under control, but in Kathmandu Valley, at least it is in a better shape, better position. But outside the valley, people are yet taking advantage of this situation. And at least from at the border and in East Nepal, I would say the cases are yet coming up of vandalism.
All right, Shweta, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for joining in with those details.